So procedural block in Verilog, and as you know, the procedure is means that step-by-step process. So this block is also same. There are a number of blocks like initial, always, and final. So let's see its proper definition. Is procedural block in Verilog describes sequential behavior. As I said earlier, a process is having a step-by-step states or process or a way. So it is going to execute step by step. As a compiler point of view, it will be step by step. How signals change over time or events. So we use times and events in our Verilog Testbench and everywhere. So these times and events we can include in our procedural block, and they are used to model logic, generate stimulus, control, and simulation flow. So all over your logic and everything will be inside these procedural blocks. And let's see. So first is our initial, runs once at a simulation start. So initial block is mostly used in our testbench and initialization of some variable, and as its name suggests, it's initial means first step. You can say and only execute once because it is initial. So initial is only at once, at that also at the first time. So at zero simulation it will execute, and opposite to that there is a final block. So final block runs once at simulation end. For example, if you have used $finish at 100 nanoseconds, so the $finish will execute, and just before that the final block will execute at the end of the simulation. So printing some summary or report, you can say we use this block, and our mostly used block is always block and initial block. So always block is our logical, where we write logic, case statement, if else statement, everything which we use this always block. As you know that hardware is always running, so we need something to always run. So this always block is used for that because it is always running. So runs repeatedly on trigger or event, so we can control it with our trigger and event, and combinational and sequential circuit you can create with this. So let's move forward and see this step by step.
Hit subscribe, like, and comment now. Let's begin the journey of verification.
So first is our initial block, and used for initialization, as I said earlier, stimulus or displaying output in testbench. So mostly we use initial block in our testbench because it is not synthesizable, because as you know hardware is running always, so always block is synthesizable, but initial block is not synthesizable. There is no hardware which only runs once time. Okay, so execute only once at time 0. So as I said earlier, at 0 simulation time, whenever the start of simulation, it will initialize or start or give some values, and you can use as you can see here is a code for a simple initial block. So a equal to 0 as we initialize this, and we can use delays and $finish statements in this initial block. So $finish is like you will write this statement and it should execute once. For example, if 100 nanoseconds you have written $finish, or here we can say 10 nanoseconds or 10 units of time you have written $finish. So after 10 nanoseconds there is no another $finish. So why we will write this in always block? So this is some statements we use for only initial block. We can write in that, but why should we write? That's the question.